Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. I am tickled pink to be sharing this idea with you, which I must say I stole. No. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Is that the story we're going with? I was crafting away yesterday, holiday, long weekend here, blah, blah, blah. And you know how videos come up in your feed? Like, I have enough trouble staying caught up with watching the videos of the people that I love, that I have relationships with, and others, of course, whose style and whatever is unique. So really, the last thing I need is more people to follow. But I just clicked on this woman's video, and you know how Angela and some of her friends have come up with the Love a Little Channel hashtag, where we can identify other channels that you know are smallish. I know I was a recipient of some Love a Little Channel action, some love, some outreach. Anyway, I noticed that this woman has 178,000 subscribers. She gets like 800 likes. You know, just mind-boggling numbers. Anyway, that's beside the point. I will tell you who she is. I don't know her backstory. I would suspect that maybe she came up through the scrapbooking world. I did watch a few more of her videos, but I've also said in the past that that if I feel the urge to drop everything and make what I've just seen, you gotta know it's a good one. So let me tell you what's what. I don't know. Do you stamp on the financial statement from your investments? Oh, see, I could have done the other side. Anyway, I was trying out some stamps because stamping is part of the process here. And soon I'll show you, in a minute, I'll show you what the actual deal is. So anyway, we know that in the junk journal world, one of the pieces of jargon is masterboard. And I think most of us love doing masterboards. Anyway, so this woman, Tracey, says, oh, she's going to work on a masterboard, and she was going to do a half a piece of cardstock. So I'm thinking, oh boy, that's not very ambitious. And then she started with these itty bitty little pieces, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to take forever and a day. Anyway, what she did, she created a masterboard. She had rather an interesting stamp in that it was like, say, if you imagine a sunflower head and cut it in half, so it had a straight bottom and then, of course, the center, you know, half a center and half the petals. Anyway, so she then stamped the image in rows across her little piece of paper. And she had also done some additional stamping, like with, so this is Punchinello. I've shown you this before. This piece is getting ratcheted up. I should actually find a better one. And then she showed what she did with it. So, I, of course, you know, I don't need to, nor should you ever feel the need to totally, like, feel free, feel that you should adapt, modify, because, of course, we don't all have the same stuff. So this is oh, no picture. This is a particular stamp that I love and I've used over the years, mixed media art pieces, like, I mean, on canvas and so on. I came across this one. I thought, oh, it's already on a wood block. I won't have to look for an acrylic block. I thought this teacup might work. I don't even know if I've ever tried that one. Bought it used. I love these. Now this is a peony. Oh, this is a peony. And it came from, I think this might have been a Tim Holtz thing. And I had a whole bunch of these blocks, so I just mounted it on there because then you know it's actually going to stick. There's this one that is a lily. And I thought, no, keep looking, keep looking. And then I found this one, which I also love. So you can see I tried a few of them out here. And this was going to be my stamp off sheet. So now you can see I took a piece of cardstock, but I've already been fussy cutting because that is part of the process. So look at this. I guess it doesn't matter how I hold this. Anyway, okay, I'll tell you what the deal is here. I can even, it's still here, I can reach for it. In a recent, well, I don't know how recent because I'm way ahead in taping thrift haul videos. In a haul video that you may or may not have seen, I bought this book, and it was from 1952, and just gorgeous. But it had a lot of taped pages. It had masking tape holding the spine together. So I took it apart. This has nothing to do with this other than, well, I'm trying to get to the point. You can see I went a little askew here. I basically cut the damaged parts off and thought, I'm keeping this because I'm sure there's something I can do with it. So maybe this eventually becomes a ring-bound, oversized journal. It was just too precious to, discard. So, of course, I then went ahead and saved what I could. Well, no, because the pages were so big, I cut these down to 8.5 because I thought I want to be able to save both sides. So I did a bunch of those. And then, there are things like this that were cut off but could still be used. Did some fussy cutting. And actually I did some more as I was watching TV at bedtime. Anyway, there were also a number of pieces that were no good. Like they were parts of dogs and parts of shoes and whatnot. So I used all those bright colored pieces, like there's a dog there, just whatever. And I had this thing filled. What I did then was I used this stamp and my royal purple Stays On ink. I could have used black, but I thought, well, what the heck? This is always a reliable stamp for me, so I thought I would use that one. So I stamped it in rows. So on an 8.5 by 11, I got 5 across and 4 down. So 20 of these little icons. I then used was it Night Sky? Yeah, it must have been Night Sky, which is Ranger archival ink, to do the dots. Now, I could have, I suppose, used some I have other stencils. I have like real stencils and Punchinello with smaller holes. I could have maybe used a smaller design, but I just absolutely love the look of this. I wish I would have taken a picture of it before I started chomping into it. What I discovered, though, in hindsight, once I began fussy cutting, is that I kind of wasted a fair bit of effort. Well, I'll talk about that one in a minute. Quite a bit of effort doing the negative spaces between the stamping and not probably enough on the actual image. But you can see, because this was such a colorful masterboard to begin with and relatively solid in color, these flowers turned out, I would say, very cute. And the reason I have this foam here is because, well, I guess I could take it out. Maybe it's misleading. The green is probably throwing you off. So, some of the Punchinello marks are on there. So basically, I cut it out kind of loosely. By that, I mean, I tried to keep the outline intact, but I didn't, if I was away from it a bit, let me find again an example. Maybe I did a little too good a job on these. But when you, okay, for instance, that painting that I included in my coffee membership, which is called Words and Pictures, in case you don't know, that is a membership-based thing with a monthly, text and reproduction of some art that I've created. Anyway, in that watercolor, I went in with Stabilo All and maybe some ink as well, and loosely outlined some of the shapes. And that's a very sort of painterly effect. So that's kind of what I was thinking would happen here as well. So anyway, this one, there's quite a bit of space around it. So I thought, okay, I probably don't need 20 of these flowers. So I intend to square this off and maybe it becomes a tiny little journaling card. Now, what this Tracey did, because her stamps were different in that, they all had a flat bottom. She then went ahead and cut up a bunch of probably cardstock, neutral background cardstock, and she added her cutout flowers at the top, at the bottom, at the side, typical, however you would use this to embellish a journaling card, a bookmark, a belly band, whatever. That's what she did. So I'm just going to, I guess, keep talking a bit more and maybe just keep fussy cutting a bit as well. So I don't want this to be an extremely long video because it's a very simple idea. And quite often the best ones are the simplest ones. So again, once you have your masterboard done and stamped and whatever, then, you can fussy cut. Maybe this one will be a bit bigger. Maybe I'll square this one off. You can do this at your leisure. So I'll leave that one there for... So I just, I'm kind of hooked on these. I want to do another one and another one and another one. I can hardly see that against the black there, but... Anyway, so what she had also done was, okay, on something like this, you can see that there's just a faint little, barely a shadow of a, what am I trying to say? The dots. So if after the fact, if after a fussy cutting it, she thought that something maybe needed to be zhuzhed up a bit, she just went in and stenciled a bit more on there, especially if maybe there were white patches. Now, she also, sometimes stamping is not perfect. Like this one seems to have a couple breaks in the center there. Now I have this Sharpie that is purple, so I don't know if it's going to match or not, but I can also go in and touch up those little stems there, as well as I think, now am I forgetting some of those details? I know that when she attached her fussy cuts to whatever it was, whether it was a bookmark or whatever, she then did some faux stitching around the edge of the thing, card, journal, bookmark, whatever it was. There's nothing stopping me from going in here and adding some lines that would make it look more like a petal. So you can kind of take these as far or not far as you wish. Oh, I don't know if you probably didn't see my haul video, but is that not the best point protector that you've ever seen? So, whoa, it's a 12 pack. Got it at Walmart. This one, I think, means Crafters Unite. There is another pose. What the heck was the third one? Don't really remember at the moment. But, yeah, I thought those were so cute. Anyway, I was just going to touch up this little thing that was lifting here. And then you don't need your stainless steel pin. Oh. Did I buy something that actually isn't doing the job? Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Now, where did I put that pin? Right here. I wanted the little hand on top. Oh, there it goes. So really, the amount, what you do with these after the fact and how you choose to further embellish them is totally up to you. Like, I mean, it's, you know, this is just the start of the fun as far as I'm concerned. So I'm sure I'm going to do some of this again. Like I said, I'll continue fussy cutting. If there are a couple that are maybe a bit bigger, I will square those off. And I also think that I'm going to do a version. Now, this was, like I said, this was scrap images that were useless to me out of that kid's book. However, I could choose to be more selective in my, you know what would be nice too? How wide is, or how long is this? That's 6.5, roughly. Okay, well, why don't I? Let's me move this out of the way. Why don't I also make a bookmark out of this? Or a belly band, I guess. Now, I think I want to cut from this side so that I make sure I don't really destroy. So I'm lining it up on my grid. I have to clear that where it's been cut out, so I'm going to straighten this out. So that, a bit of that is going to go, but I guess that's how the cookie crumbles. If I move it over, I could save a bit more of it. I did break off a new, where's my knife? A new section on my blade, so hopefully it's going to cut like a hot damn. Now, these things are cute in themselves, but they are, between the cardstock and the layers of paint, not paint, paper, they are pretty thick. So I think, I was going to say I'm going to throw them out, but boy, they're cute. I'm not saving them for my art journal. So there. Okay, now we'll line this up again. And we will sort of split the difference between these two rows of flowers. And of course, you know, she used flowers. I'm in the spirit of monkey see, monkey do. I used flowers. But it could be anything else, I'm sure. I think you would just want, you would just want to be aware of, you know, how big a pain it would be to have to fussy cut around an image. So, for instance, if I'd have used this is a lot. Well, number one, this would have been too big for the page, which is another reason why I tried it out here. Like you can see, I wouldn't have gotten very many on an 8.5 by 11. This I thought was maybe a mite small. That's why the peony didn't make the cut. So I think, let's just give you an idea of size. Oops. Roughly 2 inches. And of course, if you were doing your master board on a bigger piece of paper, like maybe you were using, the cover of, or a file folder, even for that matter. I think I'm going to make this as long as I can, even though there's a little chewed out part there. Oh, I could turn it into a, what purpose would that serve? Oh, maybe I have to take that off. I don't know. I'm going to leave this as it is and decide what to do with it. It could be, let me just stop dithering and do it. Where is my little, and of course, unless you're brand new, my little lazy Susan here is getting hung up. Do you think I have enough glue cards? Unless you're brand new, I'm sure your mind is already racing and you're figuring out ways that you can use this idea in embellishing and decorating and whatnot. But is that not cute? Just for the heck of it, let's use her idea and add some faux stitching, and then you'll get a feel for how that looks. And of course, I'm just using this Sharpie. Is this supposed to be, it doesn't say. You could use a micron pen or, whatever you have. So the name, and I to be honest, I didn't know what to make of the name of her channel, Tracey's channel, because I think it could be interpreted in a negative way. But anyway, her channel, with her 178,000 subscribers, is called Mindless Crafting. So I will put a link to it in the description box. I'm sure she shows up high in the search engine, so even if you just remember Mindless Crafting, you will definitely find her. And to be honest, I don't know how old this video was, if it was a recent one, or, I don't know why. Who knows how these things work or why a particular thing would show up in my feed. So I just thought this was the cat's meow. And I don't know if I finished the thought, but I was starting to say, and if I'm repeating myself, forgive me, that with the purple journal and the blush journal, I could, when I'm back, you looking at my supplies there, I think I can find, in fact, what am I talking about? I guess that was my original thought, but I chose instead to use those scrap images from that kid's book, because, if you don't use it immediately, it gets buried under something else, never to be seen again, or you move it from place to place. So I'm trying to avoid doing that wherever possible. Okay, so there's that. So you can see I'm going to have a bunch of these to add to my whatever. These are going to end up being bigger. These need to be fussy cut. Oh, see, I could make a pocket out of this too. Why don't I keep doing that? See, and I pulled out this stencil, just, you know, again, to do something different. However, I resorted to my old favorite. So, you know, probably in the next one, I would try to be a little more imaginative. Okay, that's only, oh, that could be pocket too. Yeah, I guess I get more out of it if I use the shorter side as a pocket. And again, you know, I realize that some people are really ruler or measuring averse. So it annoys me if things are crooked. So that's why I take the extra step to measure and to try to make things as good as I can. But if you don't, if it doesn't bother you, then hey, you're probably saving some time in your work. Okay, so that's fairly dark. I might have to do a little work there. I see this. Again, you know, it's not that easy to stamp on a collage in the first place because it's not a nice smooth surface. So, you know, she had sentiments and whatever to add to hers. So again, you know what to do. Let's square this off, and then I'll show you what I initially thought I was going to use for a masterboard. And if you're like me at all and love collaging, this, you know, this is just, this, Tracey is an enabler, and now Hazel is an enabler. Just another really spectacular reason to pull out some papers, pull out your glue, and just collage your little heart out. Whoops, that one hit the floor. Okay, so I have these almost finished pieces, and I've shown you that repeatedly, so let's not go there again. So this is what I had originally pulled out because I thought, oh, why don't I do something blushy? So there are these are just those El Cheapo Dollar Tree calendars. So you can see that there are some colors here that would work. And again, why have I not just broken this down a bit so the pieces would be better? And then this vintage discolored wrapping paper. I mean, you've seen, if you've watched the blush series at all, you've seen many of these things. Now, the problem, of course, with wrapping paper is that most of it is fairly glossy. This one is embossed. Stripes could be nice. I don't really like this one, but maybe that's the reason to use it. I love this one, and of course I love this one. So the next one I do is going to involve these sorts of papers. So when I have kind of my you-know-what together, let's maybe not put a white one on top. I typically try to take photos of finished projects and remember to post them on Instagram. However, when I'm on a roll making videos, which I am, because March has many reasons for me to be gone from home, I want there to be all these videos scheduled. So I've actually got some scheduled into April already. Oh, speaking of, let me just show you one other thing. Not that it's related to what we're doing here, but I did add these were buttons the cutest thing ever. And you'll know why I was talking about buttons if you watch other videos. I broke the shank off because, of course, it's just plastic, and I glued these down. Originally, I thought of sewing them, but it made them stick up too much. So this was just near me, so that's why I'm showing you. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop there. I will add Tracey's information both in the title and in the description box. And I cannot recommend this idea highly enough because it is fun, fun, fun. And of course, as she pointed out, totally, totally, totally one of a kind, because no two of us will have the same scraps. No two of us will arrange our scraps in the same way. It's highly unlikely we would use the same rubber stamp or the same stencils. So it's just you can see I'm damn near speechless. I'm so happy. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.